Hello, hello, and welcome to the Alliance for Charitable Real Estate. I am your host, Cammie Baker, and the Alliance is all about providing the right resources and relationships and education so that the property owners and the businesses and the real estate professionals and the nonprofits can all come together and swirl the right kind of energy to create and facilitate these charitable gifts of real estate and do about $1 billion worth by 2025. And in order for us to do that here on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, we need to have the right mentors, the right partners and brainstorming partners, etc. So I'm introducing today Tracey Thompson, who has been a friend, a colleague, a mentor for 4 or 5 years now. As a matter of fact, she's the one that gave me the name Maverick back in the day. Remember that?
Yes. I do. Yes.
The reason why we're having Tracey on today, as I was brainstorming the Alliance and even coming up with the name the Alliance as opposed to organization or foundation or federation or coalition, Tracey and I started talking, and she really helped me hone in on my message and how I want to show up in the world. So Tracey, let our listeners and viewers know a little bit about who you are and where your brilliance comes from.
Well, thank you for the intro, Cammie, and thank you for inviting me to be here and chatting with you on this amazing, really powerful topic. My background is sales, marketing, and messaging. Specifically, I absolutely am in love with communication, the way we communicate our message and our messaging out in the space. So love playing with language and words, spoken and written. And my passion really in life is to help entrepreneurs and business owners communicate more powerfully with more influence and more persuasion for good, of course. We all want to do well while being paid well. So that's my my true passion. And I've had a lot of iterations of what I do throughout the years. I was in corporate for many years, worked with big businesses, and then decided to really head out on my own and work primarily with small to medium-sized businesses and entrepreneurs. So here I am today, and I'm really excited to be here and talk about this juicy, new, novel topic. So cool.
Well, and when we first met, I remember you are also the Conscious Conversations That Convert Queen, which is just another fun way of saying sales. But you really have your own spin on that. And, between that and the messaging that you've helped me with this go around with this business, I just really want people to hear like, what does that mean? Conscious conversations, the wording and the messaging, because I don't think people really understand what that means.
Yes. Well, I consider everything, when you come from a place of, you're heart-centered, you're a conscious entrepreneur. So you're trying to, as I said, you're trying to evolve and elevate as you make money and grow and all of those good things. So the conscious conversation is the one that you're having with your people, whether that be your current clients, whether that be your future clients. That's what I call everybody. Everyone's a future client because they're either going to be your future client or somebody else's. So to me, a conscious conversation is really the personification of how you are communicating with your people. So that can be in writing, it can be verbal, it can be in an actual sales conversation. But I think that the what I call the yes journey, everyone's yes journey is a collaborative, co-creative process when we're leading that conscious conversation, that yes journey. So I learned about your yes journey several years ago, and I actually created a module, just a bonus module
from my clients to understand what the yes journey is. And I want you to talk about that in the next segment, because we got to have them coming back and wanting more. We got 4 yummy segments with you today. Let's start with really helping people to say, okay, who is the client? Who is your future client that you want to attract? And, you know, because this is about the Alliance for Charitable Real Estate, we have all kinds of different businesses, from sign companies and mortgage companies and landscapers. But let's talk about real estate agents, just to have one yummy conversation. So if you're a real estate agent and you're one of those people who says, well, I can sell or help people buy any real estate anywhere, anytime, when we try to be everything to everyone, we really, really miss the boat. Talk about really targeting in on who your ideal client is, because that's how you really helped me to get where I'm at with the Alliance today.
Yes, that's so important. You know, when we get into business and we have this big vision and we have this ambition, and we're go-getters, we're drivers, we're out there, we're, you know, on fire and ready to go. We want to help everyone. We think that the best approach is to widen the net, to make it bigger, to make it broader. Like, let's sell to everyone. Let's sell everything to everyone. But we quickly, those of us who have been in business for a while, quickly realize that in today's really crowded market and the noise and all the messaging and social media and everything coming at us, we really can't thrive if we don't start to narrow down. And we've heard the word niche, but you know, you narrow down who it is you really want to work with, first of all, because, you know, let's face it, there are certain people that you can work with that you don't want to work with. So, you know, that, let's start there first. But usually
just because you can doesn't mean you should.
You should. That's right. And I think those of us who've been around the block a few times know that all too well. So, you know, we have to start with, who do you want to work with? Where's your passion? What's your, you know, what lights you up? If you didn't get paid, who would you want to spend time with? And if you look at your client base and go, ooh, not them, then maybe that's, or an industry that you're working with, maybe that's an opportunity for you to reevaluate, especially right now. So who you want to work with is super important. But I would say that narrowing it down to groups that naturally congregate together. If you're looking for a marketing strategy, trying to reach people, it's hard when you say, well, I just want to reach anybody who has a piece of real estate that wants to sell it. Well, that's not going to help you very well when you're trying to create messaging that's specific.
Well, and who you want to work with, sometimes we get really clear on what we want by knowing what we don't want. So I've been listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks lately, and there's one that I heard that I've listened to like 8 times today, because it really hones in on this, how so for example, if you're a real estate agent and because I've heard this a lot lately, well, I've got a lot of tire kickers. There's all these buyers that are tire kickers and they're wasting my time. Well, it might be that they have been sent to you to show you exactly what you don't want, so that you can figure out what you do want and then focus in on that. So for example, I've told a lot of realtors lately, if you don't want tire kicking buyers, what if you actually started getting listings? And when you get a listing and put a listing on the market, well, now you go to the beach while all those other people ride around with the tire kicking buyers. I used to love to have 10, 12, 15 listings and just go to the beach and let somebody else sell it. So to look at, well, what is it that I'm getting from the people right now that I don't want? Or even if you say, well, I've been working with people with mobile homes or condos up to 150,000. I sure would love to take listings at 500,000 and up. Well, then that should be who you focus in on, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And the messaging that you put out there that is unique to you. And this is the thing that is so important. I can't impress upon you all enough that if you say, well, I'm a realtor and here's my picture, and you do the same old thing that everybody else does, but you don't have a unique hook, you don't have something that is a unique selling proposition for you, that cuts through the noise and makes you different, you're going to have a really, really tough time out there crafting messaging that will reach that $500,000 person or the $1 million listing or whatever, because those, as you move up in the scale, if you will, of discernment in terms of clients, they are also becoming more discerning, and they're looking for those differentiators. They're looking for that extra, why you? Why should they go with you? And if you can't articulate that clearly, then how are you expecting them to get it, right?
So we're going to go on break right now, but when we come back, Tracey's going to share with you the 3 yeses, the yes journey, the yes, and the 3 T's. Because I have that in one of my videos too. And we'll talk about that and a little bit more about finding your perfect avatar. You're listening to 97.9 FM Unity Radio. You can watch us live streamed at WUTY979FM.org. And we are on Facebook Live. And by the way, feel free to send in on Facebook or to email to me some questions about the Alliance for Charitable Gifting of Real Estate. What are your questions? Like, why in the world would a real estate agent want to help people give property away? Because you make more money. And why would a property owner give property away? Because you save money. And why would a nonprofit not be taking real estate? Whatever your questions are, send them to me. We'll be right back with Tracey and learn more about messaging.